I don't think some people realize what a bond like a mechanic gets to their toolbox, especially like their personal toolbox they roll around to each vehicle. If you can tell, like back there, I've got a big toolbox, I got a bigger toolbox, I've got a wall of tools. That's like your, I wouldn't call it headquarters. It's like your main hub for your tools, and you've got your roll around toolbox that has just enough to get by, and if you need a special tool, you go over there. Just like this one here, I think I've had it nearly 10 years. I don't think quite 10 years, but I use the thing just about 7 days a week. And like my job is mechanic work, my hobby is mechanic work in a sense. So me and this thing, we got a bond. But I think I'm ready to break up with it and move on. I'll tell you more about that, but let's just check it out. And I'm pretty sure this is going on my channel. I got another channel that's about just Jeeps. That's all it's about. But if you don't know, that's literally the only vehicle I work on unless something happens. But let's just say basically 84 to 04 Jeep Cherokees, Grand Cherokees, Comanches. So pretty much every vehicle I work on takes the same tools. So I'm able to take a super small box that normally would not work for a normal mechanic. And since I know every tool I'm going to be needing, they're on that box. So I just want to give you a tour of the toolbox and show you around. Just show you some things that I've adapted to do with less just to get by, I guess is the word. It's pretty neat. I use it all the time. First things first, I don't know if I said, yes, it is a Harbor Freight special. If this thing could be judged in miles, this thing has 700,000 miles. It's used, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it at all. I mean, it's completely overloaded. This is just supposed to be a lid. I've put some aluminum right here, bolted it up where it's standing up, and completely plastered the wall with tools. So that's overloaded. You're only supposed to have like one wing on it. It's supposed to have a handle. I've put double wings on them. Of course, I've overloaded them. The handle just happened to mount right there, so I stuck it on that. I don't care what anybody says. There's no reason to spend these tens of thousands of dollars on Snap-on and Matco and whatever boxes. It just sucks. I wish I could do a whole video on that, being honest. The only reason they do it is because they can turn around and charge you $175 an hour just to pay for their stupid tools they don't need. And I know it's going to offend somebody, but I don't care. It's the truth. Like this socket right here. This socket was a AutoZone $19 3/4. I don't know how many million lug nuts that socket has took off. The whole kit from AutoZone in 2010. Golly. And it's going on 2025. And socket works great. No complaints. So if you see an accidental name brand socket, the only reason it's because that's a Snap-on socket right there. So that socket's probably what, 80 bucks? Some unresponsible mechanic probably laid it down and lost it, and guess what? You have to pay for it because they have to use fancy tools. Anyways, back to the toolbox. We'll just start from the top and work our way down. I'll show you everything I've got. Again, this is supposed to just be a fold down lid to close and then lock all your tools up. You can see I put the aluminum, stood it straight up, and now I've got like a wall of tools for it. Could be better, more organized. It just works, and that's why I think I'm ready for a new one. If you can't tell, I like magnets. They make it so easy. You just reach up here, grab your wrench, and then you stick it back. Sometimes they fall off when you're rolling around, but low budget. So these are my little stubbies. I keep all those in order. As long as they stay in order, I know when I pick it up, that's a 9/16, so that should be a 15. Yep. So I got all of them. There's my drive shaft one. Then these are just a couple small wrenches, 10, 7/16, 3/8. These are all my ratchet wrenches, and if they're facing that way, they're metric. If they're facing this way, they're standard. I mean, some of them's, yeah. And that's the dividing line right there. So that'll be 18, that'll be 3/4. You'll pick it up through the video. I'm like mentally attached to each one of these tools, and it helps throughout the day. Like this next row of sockets, there's a couple different name brands, but I can literally look and tell you that's 18, 18, 21, 15, that's 16, that's a 19, 7/8, 15 16ths. That might be 11 16ths, 17. That's a 13, and I don't even know what that socket is. I don't use it. Then I've got these two. I got them memorized, stuck off in there. Those are for Jeep specific stuff. I'm gonna get rid of these real quick, but that's my smallest 12-volt gun. That's my next size up 20-volt. And I usually, sometimes use a quarter, sometimes I use a 3/8, but that's that. And then I've got 3/8 impact, and then I've got the next size up 1/2 inch impact. And I did have 2 of these monstrosities right here. They are amazing, but I nearly had to have surgery because right here on my elbow, I can't point holding the camera, it was ripping the tendon away from my elbow. So I put it over there. If I need it, I'll go grab it, but I try to avoid using it because I mean literally it was ripping my arm apart. So my next row of magnets, this is kind of cool. I've started doing it, is I take just like a random Torx bit or something and hammer it out, and then go get a DeWalt, like store-bought Phillips, or I've got T25, T30, that's a T40. So the way they're spaced out, I've pretty much got them memorized. I mean, you might pick one up. Those are all T40s. Like this one's 55, that's 50. But like the small ones, you might pick one up, be wrong, you stick it, grab you another one. 1/4 inch wiggles, pretty much got those memorized right there. The next row, I've never heard anybody doing this. I've got, that's a 10, a 7/16, that's a 1/2, a 13, a 9/16, a 15, and then a 5/8, and I don't even use those. I don't know what those are. But that way they're in order from biggest to smallest, and it just kind of separates, because like take this. If we sit those two side by sides, if you wasn't paying attention, they look the same, but that's a 9/16, that's a 1/2. So if you have a splitter and can tell the difference, there you go. And again, somebody's paying for fancy tools, losing them, and letting me have them. That was a snap-on, that was a snap-on. I ain't paid a dime for them. Over here, got another magnet with just some adapters and then little Torx bits or whatever them things. Inverted Torx. Razor blades, I don't do cocaine, or can't say that word. Razor blades, I don't use those for, you know, but I cut stuff all the time, scrape gaskets off. So that's got all them magnets covered, and there's actually another one I'll tell you about in a second. Actually, we can knock it out. I screwed this in here the other day, didn't know how it'd work out, but man, it works out wonderful. Same thing, I can tell you 3/4, 21, 18, that's 15, 13, 17, 9/16, 1/2, 10. That's a new 5/8. That is a, I think it's a 19. That's a wore out 3/4. That's a 19 socket. Shorty 18, and I don't know what those are, but again, take these 3 sockets right here. Most common used. That's a snap-on I didn't pay for. This is a Pittsburgh I bought, and this is a DeWalt I acquired. Neither of them match. Makes it so much easier to tell them apart throughout the day. And again, there's no cost. They work. That's a mechanic being truthful. The cheap sockets work just fine. These are all cheap as you can buy 1/4 inch wiggles. I had to weld this little ring on there. It was sliding off there, but I haven't never broke a single one of them. So all these are on magnets except for these. They'll try to fall away, but again, right here, got 13, 15, 18, 21. Those are just cheap wiggles. They work. 9/16, 5/8, and you can tell those are collecting dust. I don't use them, but I've got them. That's an 18 and 19, and then some inverted Torx for the Jeep bolt. We know them. Got these little racks from Harbor Freight. I kind of like them, but like nobody's using the 9, so there's 2 10s stuck side to side in case you're missing one. Same thing. There's 2 10s on the no 9. Well, actually, I think that is the 9, but we don't use it. Another snap-on socket I found. Don't use it. And then there's 2 15s. So these are the laser etched ones. If you can see, yeah, don't buy laser etched stuff. That's the only one you can actually read. It's 17. Get a 19 or a 3/4. Well, you can still barely catch the 19, but That's the stupidest invention ever built. If it's actually laser engraved, you can read it, but the others just wipe off. So I think that's got everything covered. You can pretty much tell. I mean, that's the head bolts right there. The rest of them are just regular. Like an 8 and a 10 are really common, so I've got them stuck back here, along with another 8 and another 10, and then another, that's a 3/8, but just a couple random sockets there. If you can tell, I've got everything organized to, I know where exactly everything is, and I tell anybody using my tools, do not put the tools back. I said, lay them right here and do not put them back. It's like that wall I probably won't show you. Yeah, I will. If you hadn't followed along my life story, I started my business from absolute scratch. I didn't have nothing. This is like some old rack off a refrigerator, and I've cut all the prongs that stick out, and you can tell that's just masking tape I've wrote on there. But that's where I was saying, when I tell people, I said, I know where everything is, or should be, so don't put one back. They'll just walk up here and just start sticking it on prongs. And I'm sure a lot of people do it that way. They just stick them in random places, but I know where my sockets go. Pretty much all the sockets are covered there. And if you look on the side, I've just got some bigger sockets that fit Jeep specific stuff. Wheel bearing, that's a pitman arm, that's a pinion nut, oil sensor. Don't like how these wrenches are done, but again, my toolbox is limited. This is just the best option I had. Couple safety glasses, flashlight, that kind of stuff. Oh, if you've ever seen Harbor Freight, they have these little cup holders, and honestly they take up more room than they're worth. So I turned this one upside down and I just use it for lights. Oh, and this extension is too long for the toolbox, so I usually hang my hat on it right there. But you can just stick those up there, and like if you're having an adult beverage and you don't want the camera to see it, I'll leave a cup there, and yep, y'all can't see it, but it's right there where I can reach it. The wings, like I told you, they're direct bolt on. This side keeps just regular rags, pile of Permatex, markers, you know, that kind of stuff. This side keeps dirtier rags, or like throwaway rags. And then that's to cap off brake lines, just some random bolts. So yeah, all that stuff I just showed you is basically in reach without having to open any drawers or anything. This little area, I've got relays and these little hole stopper uppers, jumper wires, Noid light, and that's always where I keep my phone right there. And then, I don't know if you saw it, I got a paper towel holder right there. Now I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory what that is. Got some anti-seize in my funnels. They go down and drain down there, which you know is bad, but I've got magnets. I got magnets glued to them. That way they stay right there and don't try to flop out. Underneath, that's scrap metal. Commonly used screws, I guess is the word for my coolant funnel, and the rest I have no idea. I don't know how many times this toolbox is caught on fire, because that's all oil down in there. Them self-explanatory. I hang a drill there sometimes. But real quick, we'll just go through the first drawer. This is the junk drawer everybody has. Zip ties, Allen wrenches, gloves, pins, test light, electrical tape, you know, quick connects and stuff I roll up with windows, temperature light. This end commonly used is ratchets, and I know it looks just like it's just not organized at all, but got my wiggles over here, got all my extensions, and I usually put them in about the same place. Ratchets, same thing, I put them in about the same place, they fall together. Couple specialty ratchets laying back there, and again, I mean, I've got snap-on. I didn't buy it, it's somebody left it in a Jeep, and I mean, I use them. But I got a Harbor Freight one that doesn't even have the screws holding it together, and it's plastic, and it works just fine. So that's all my ratchets. This drawer, no organization at all. Allen heads big, Allen heads smaller. Those are the thief Torx bits, and then just some random stuff, plugs, little screws, oil pan, just bit adapters, and then quarters and 5/16 and 3/8 stepper bits. I use a lot of stepper bits. scrapers and chisels and dry shaft wrench, and then extension for 1/4 inch stuff. A couple center punches, so pretty common sense there. This one looks very unorganized, but there's more going on than you realize. Try to keep, let's do a circle here. Try to keep my commonly used pliers up front, and then they just fade back, and then I've actually got my electrical stuff at the very back. So even though it looks like they're just jumbled up, I know usually about where something should be. Vice grips, I don't use them that often personally. Scissors, same thing. And then as you come around, I've got picks and Torx bits and stuff like that, you know, specialty stuff that's not real common. And then back up here, if you notice, all my Phillips heads are laying that way, the blue ones, and then all my flat heads are laying this way. So when you go to reach in, you don't even have to really look. You just grab something. There, you got 2 Phillips, and in common sense, it's flathead. This drawer could be better. That's why I'm excited where this video's going. No real organization, just my bigger ratchets, pry bars, the old lady leg, everybody calls it. And then got like a big chisel for fans, dead blow hammers. And yeah, I don't really use that. Honestly, that stuff piled back up in there, I don't even know what's back there. Oil filter wrench, adjustable wrench. So yeah, I would say that's utilizing absolutely every square inch of that toolbox. I mean, we could put some more magnets somewhere on there. Oh yeah, like these things, I stick them. I use them all the time, so I just stick them up there and voila. But that thing's pretty much maxed out, so check this out. So this one's what they call their 5-drawer unit. I acquired the next size up, Harbor Freight, what they call their 6-drawer. And it's taller and it's bigger. And if you remember the bottom of my toolbox, how it's always catching on fire and stuff, this one's got drawers all the way down to it. So that one, I've got this much space of tools. This one has a lot of space. You've seen how everything's compacted. Now I'm gonna have a whole lot more room, and I'm gonna be able to get more tools that are commonly used, and I'm gonna be set. I wanna get this thing open, check it out, and I'm gonna have to do some thinking of where I wanna place stuff and stuff like that, and maybe give you some inspiration on how to organize yours. Let me open it up. Oh yeah, and I splurged. Got both the wings in color blue. I got some more magnets. Those really have nothing to do with the toolbox. Got another paper towel holder. Actually bought a cup holder this time. And a glove holder. Just gotta open it up. Alright, I'm not really sure, but I might have screwed this part of the video up. I'll just pick the memory card up. The last time you've seen all this, it's been like 2 months. I just can't break up with my toolbox. I use it every single day, but I think I've got a delay. It's Friday night. It's Friday night last time. But anyways, I've got a delay, and I mean, just look how much dust this thing's been collecting. I don't know if it'll show up on camera or not, but like that's supposed to be black. Maybe right there you can see. Yeah, so had full intentions of making a swap, but I just can't quit using my toolbox. But now it's time. This has got to get mounted. See how I use all that, utilize all that. If you see, I've run aluminum straight down like that. Well, check out this one. My ex-employee did this. He had the idea to kind of lay it back, put some counterweight back here. That way if you got drawers open, it doesn't flip. Oh yeah, this one with my air impact gun, if you've seen that short. But I actually like this right here. I don't know if I'm gonna slant back, probably keep it upright. I don't know, I'll figure that out. But takes up less space. Usually clip stuff on right there, so that was about the only way to do that one. And ironically, I only had 2 pieces of that. Grab some more aluminum, just in case I wanna build something, but that's gotta happen. I'm gonna knock that out real quick, and then we'll start the transfer. somehow I'll go right there, and then I get rid of those, having a whole wall. I don't use the lid. This is my day-to-day box in my shop. So I'm gonna go to work, knock that out. Shouldn't take long, and then, God, it's gonna hurt. I've had that thing so long. But I'm so excited. It's what I probably said it months ago. If I'm getting by with those drawers right there, if I have all them drawers, I'm gonna be able to pull more tools that I use from over there daily, and then I'll have them right there with me. And I've got this super cool idea, but it sucks. I'm not gonna do it in this video because it'd make it too long. So that'll be another day's project. But let me get started on this. All right, got these on there. I did think of one little dilemma, but I'm gonna roll with it. I remember my buddy laid his back. That way it's like trying to pull on this little strip of metal here. Because right now, if you get it too heavy on the front, it would like collapse. I don't think it'll ever happen. I'll keep a watch on that, but if I don't forget to show you a cherry picker engine hoist, they've got the big boom and they've got that little strip of metal back there. It's trying to fall that way, it's just trying to pull. So that would be nicer. And that's where I think I screwed up. I'm gonna put these somewhere where I'll never remember them. But that's where I think I screwed up. I think I put it together in time lapse and never actually like showed y'all. But I mean, it's just a toolbox with empty drawers. And here in just a minute, you're gonna be able to see all the drawers. But that's what I was thinking. It's so hard. This box over here, I know it so well. I've got it set up to my liking and all that. And I want this one to be that or better. But I don't know. It's just hard. It's not something you can change. I mean, you can, but it's easier to get it right the first time. So, just going to do some studying. That's what does suck. Like this one has the shallow drawers. Well, this one don't. So if you want to lay a ratchet in there, it's going to take up the whole drawer. But at the end of the day, it really don't matter. Let me do some studying. Oh, I will show you this. See, like that's going up, and that's got the pull pressure on it. So it's got a little strip of metal right there. This right here is supposed to use screwdrivers. I personally don't. I've got sockets and stuff like that, and then just junk. Well, them fall out and come out down here. I dropped a nut in here and it fell down, and it goes essentially in this chamber, like right inside of there. So I'm not using them holes, so I'm gonna put several layers of, I guess, duct tape would be fine. That way I don't lose nothing down in there. So I found some of this, it's basically aluminum tape. It's kind of metal, and then that's just duct tape. Put a first layer of the metal, kind of give it some support, and then I got that for just the texture. So that's that. You ain't videoing me videoing, are you? No. So I got to thinking, you remember when you was in school, hopefully maybe you're, well, I guess you could be watching, but you know when you pick a football team or a basketball team, the best people always get picked first. That's how I'm gonna do this. I got to thinking, these sockets down the side, I know I like that. There's always the certain ones. I work on the same vehicles. I know I like that. I know I like these sockets because that's what I was just saying. Like, I understand it. Some people have to do it that way, but my buddy had one of those big, like 7-foot long snap-on toolboxes. It's awesome, but every time you need one little bitty socket, you have to open up that 400-pound drawer, find that socket, shut that. So like all day long, I've got to where I just about put all the sockets back as I use them. So these sockets, the magnetic stuff like this, I'm trying to think of something different right here. But that's what I was going to say. The things that I do like, I'm going to move to this and then just go down the list of things. Because some stuff won't matter. Like this is just a junk drawer. It's got zip ties, gloves, test light. So stuff like that really doesn't matter where it goes. But I do know, like I just told you, my buddies, the way he designed it, it was the tools you use most are the closest, and then the tools you use lesser go to the bottom. So that's what I'm trying to incorporate, trying to figure it out. I did think of one little plus here. This one's just a little bit wider, I think 2 inches actually, just a little fuzz bigger. But I've got these, and then I've got these on a magnet right here, And I got to thinking, I was like, this is okay, but, well, I don't know. I think I'll actually keep that. I didn't change my mind. I was going to put, yeah, I'm going to keep it right there. I was going to put a magnet strip right here and then put all these sockets down that strip, but I think I changed my mind. I think I like it right here because it's, well, this one's tall. I don't know. I think I still like it. This is my 3/8 wiggles. I think I've already showed this at the first of the video, but they're okay. These are heavy. They tend to fall off. So I'm thinking I'm gonna put that magnetic strip right here so they'll sink down and rest right across there, but they'll still be pulled up to that. And yeah, I'm trying to think if there's a way I can put bolts and organize all these, but I don't know if I want to go through much trouble, but it would be very nice. So I'm gonna think on that. I'm gonna get these sockets moved. It sucks. I'd like to clean them, but I don't know if I want to mess with it. They're just gonna get dirty again. I'll figure it out. We'll go from there. This is gonna be so legit. I can't tell you. I was dreading it, but I'm like super excited now. So basically same setup. I trimmed some up. I even, just to make some people mad, I broke this piece out. It's already broke, but I mean, I can tell you that's a 13, that's a 15, that's a 17, 18, that. So metric system, wish we all use that. This one, I actually put a little tilt in it. If you can tell, it's not straight up. That way just to help get to those. Those are resting, like I said, on that little lip, so they're good. These are my wiggles. Got all my sockets here. You can't see, but right along here I've got those sockets. Just some drivers, Torx bits. And then these are the two that I was actually more excited about. Oh, and I've got one down here. Got quarter drive wiggles and then just some adapters. Got all my quarter drive stuff. And then every time I needed a 1/4" bit or a bit adapter, Phillips, any of that, drill bit, wire brush, I had to open a drawer. Now, I mean, just think about it. In the course of 10 years, how many times you open a drawer, get the tool, got to find it first. You got to dig through all these little things, then slide the drawer back, go use it, and then put it back up. So being able to grab this bit, go use it, put it back, right there saves you probably 30 seconds. Do that, gosh, how many times in a year? So that is freaking amazing. I got, oh, my phone. I just found out my phone has a freaking, I had no idea. I've had that thing 2 years. So that is good. I still have this area. I would love to utilize this little shelf. Found out my AirPods, they got a magnet in them too. I want all my wrenches the best I can get them. So that's the next step. And this little area here, I'd love to utilize it really good, but I don't know. I'm kind of like, what's the next most used tool? So I know most people keep screwdrivers in there. They just, I don't seem to like it. But so now I got to do some thinking. But yeah, this is going to be legit. Amazing. Oh, all these Allen wrenches, same principle. I don't want to feel like I'm telling the same story. They was in this little trough. Well, I'll just show you. I mean, this is pretty handy. This little thing, they had, you can see these are the bits I probably won't ever use, but all my Allens was right here. So every time you need one, you had to open this drawer, dig, find what you thought was it, pick it up, go try it, no. You can imagine. So now they're basically, I mix up standard and metric because you never know, well, most of the time you don't know if it's a standard or metric. So I just go from biggest to smallest. That way you can kind of just look at one, grab it. If not, you can go up 3 sizes or you can go up 10 or you can go to this next one. This is legit. Now, like I said, I got to figure out what is next on my, I mean, obviously I think this is priority, but just see how little that drawer is right there? And how shallow it is. My first drawer is massive, which is okay, but I don't know. I hate to waste the space, but whatever. But you can see I've got basically all my ratchet wrenches on a magnet, and that's okay, but every now and then you hit a bump, that'll fall off. So I want to see what I can do right there and maybe even get more wrenches up here. I'm actually going to calculate my area, get a piece of cardboard and lay it down, and then lay them out and maybe possibly put bolts and hooks for everyone. I don't know that yet, but I want to get this toolbox right. If this one lasts 10 years, I'm pretty sure this one's gonna go a good while with me. So want to do it right, make sure it's good. I'm gonna do some studying, probably tomorrow. It's 9 o'clock on Friday. All right, went to the local Dollar Tree, picked up just some random stuff. I mean, I don't even know. I thought these were pretty cool. Hopefully they'll stand up and I can put like chisels or something in there. Maybe. I just bought everything. I mean, that's for forks, and so yeah, that could be for chisels. I don't know. Just bought some random stuff. My mom buys out Gov deals all the time, so I've got like racks and this, and you know, that's funny, that's laughable, but I guarantee I'll probably use that and it'll be awesome. So got them and that, and I went and found a few things. Like, I want to try to keep more wire stuff on this box. I just don't have that many tools. I work on the same vehicles every day. I mean, I've got a few just stuff. So, like I said, I still got to do my wrenches. I hadn't got there yet, but if I didn't say it, I think I'm getting rid of the basket. So that'll be ratchets. Still got more room. This will probably be screwdrivers, pliers, and then that's empty. This one I've got full. Well, not full, just using it. I mean, this is, I got a funnel. So, got way more room than I know what to do with, but that's a good thing so far. So I'm gonna keep migrating stuff to there, and I've got to map out my wrenches, and this box is gonna be legit. I remembered, if you look at that wall right there, I've already tried to put ratchet wrenches and regular together. So made the pimp decision that I'm going to hang them just like this, and I'm gonna put like these bolts sticking through the toolbox, and then I'm just gonna put regular wrenches and ratchet wrenches together. See which one prefers to stay on the top, but I still got my preferred favorite tools. Like, I've got some very commonly used ones, so I think somehow I'm gonna put a magnet across there. Magnet, probably the soft O'Reilly ones like that. And I got my stubbies. So I think the stubbies may hang out over here. I don't know, but I want to get this set up. I've got all the wrenches that I'll ever use. Then I got a 7 1/4. They actually fit between, but yeah, I've got all that done. And then, ironically, a piece of blue tape. That's my line to keep them all equal. And I do have some that I've dropped down because the heads will be all bouncing off each other. So I've dropped them down. They shouldn't. Yeah, you see what I'm getting at. So I'm gonna drill a bunch of holes, put a bunch of bolts in. Got to get some smaller bolts tomorrow, nuts to hold them in there, but hope this works out. This will be a dream come true. Just got to drill some holes. Voila, I think I'm finally to the point of start using it, and then, you know, changes will happen and kind of fill in. But I was going to start a project this morning. I realized that I don't have a toolbox, so I had to finish the toolbox. So it's essentially done. There's going to be one more thing over here, but I'm going to do like a whole separate video on it because I think it'll go pretty good. But let's check it out. Just keep in mind, like I said, if every time you need one tool, you got to open a drawer, shut a drawer. Sounds stupid. Do it 200, 300, 400 times a day and add years onto that. So think of it. We'll just start with the top. I said I agreed on. Should every wrench up here, except probably that one, has a ratchet wrench behind it or in front of it, just depends. And if you notice, I use blue bolts. Gold, blue, whatever color I'm saying. That way, if your brain gets a program that 18 millimeters on the blue one, as soon as you just glance up here, you see the blue bolt. Or if you're putting it back up there. That kind of stuff will come photogenic memory. Dang, I should have done it. I might add it here in just a second, but I need my camera for another video. The drawers right here, they'll become second nature to you, but you see they all look the exact same. I'll put like tape and then put either lines in it or a zigzag, something just to trigger your brain to say, hey, this is the drawer I need. So Hopefully I get it in the video, just needed the camera for another one. I actually was able to have more room than I needed. I still think the 7¼ is gonna go right here and right there, but got my stubbies all laid out so I can read them now. And if you need one, you just put it back. No drawers are opening. These are just some common wrenches. Hey, that goes over there. Where'd it go? There. Oh, I'm gonna put a nut on that. But these are just some of my common wrenches I've got and fell in love with. You can see, well, those two are Snap-on, but they're all different name brands. So as soon as you look up there, your eye sees Craftsman, knows that's my favorite 1/2" wrench. Or if you see the red dot, that's your 15. Just becomes photogenic memory. But these, got all them across there, Torx. Those may go in a drawer. I don't think I'll ever use them, but I didn't have room. But like I said, all these Allens used to be in this little thing here, and you had to pick one up, check it, put it back, pick it up, check it, then see if it fits, then grab another. So regardless if it's metric or standard, now they're there. So all them, this will get organized as you pick one and pull it back. I've started doing it. There's my wiggles, adapters, all my sockets I've already showed you. Dollar Tree had this little thing. I think eventually it'll get a, just some common things I use so you don't have to open a drawer. Zip ties, got the long ones. And then I had a few odd and end wrenches. This is what I end up putting there, but this will start getting filled up with just little rubber plugs. This is some of my electrical stuff. I can finally show you, these are the sockets. Like I said, I can tell you every single one of them just by looking at it. Some more sockets, had room. The only thing I had to poke a hole and duct tape a washer there is this extension. Can't get it on camera. It's like 4 foot long. So that, let's see. See, I got me a ruler, pair of scissors. This will get stuffed with rags, and then I took a piece of purlin. Actually, when I built my YouTube room, I had to cut that purlin out. That's what I'm using for that, and that's what's crazy. I didn't measure, I just guessed at it with a cap on. It just absolutely barely touches. Magnets. First drawer, I did away with a basket. Got a little boxed in area for just some, clutter, stuff like that. Now all these are on top drawer. I actually can carry torque wrenches with me. More torque wrenches. And this will get more organized as I use it, but so far it's pretty well. That's your most used tools. Second drawer, commonly used tools. Phillips heads. Wait a minute. Somebody's not been organized. There we go. Phillips head, flathead, Allen's I never really use. Uncommon stuff there, Torx bit, that. This is just random necessity stuff, it'll get filled up. All my little picks, a few chisels, straight picks, these little things there, handy. And some more chisels. Keep in mind, this is just throwing it in there. It'll get organized as I use it. I got really OCD about that stuff. Like this drawer, these are like pliers, channel locks, cutters, needle nose, nothing's there. Then just, like I said, it'll get more organized. I don't mind the stuff being stacked up. This drawer, pretty much a carbon copy of the bottom drawer on that box. But now it's just a little more organized. So that's that. I was gonna put 1 1/8" and 1 1/16" right there, but no more than I use them, you can open a drawer for that. This drawer, I'm able to carry connectors with me now. Pretty much the only specialty tools I use, fuel pump tool. I didn't even know they made that. Found that, pivot arm, balancer puller, spring compressor, compression, fuel pressure, oil pressure, scanner. And then this drawer is not complete. Chains, that's scrap metal tub, screws, more buckets, and then just clutter. So got my funnels, they're going over there. Keep that drawer, it's gonna get used. That's that. The only thing I got left, I went to town, I left them out there, is screws for right here. I got some little screws. I notice I use headlamps all the time, and I remember these screws right here, I would use them to hook stuff. So right down through here, I'm gonna put some hooks where you can put the headlamps right there, tape measures. I think that's got it covered. Only thing, my phone. I'll figure that out. I think that's got it covered. I hope I was an inspiration as far as like the magnets. I don't want to sound like I'm sponsored by magnets, but just, I mean, think of you're in a hurry, you're in a rush, you need, what, a T55. Takes like 1 second to grab one. When you put it back, it's right there. So, oh, I can't tell you how much time that'll save you, unless you work in a factory and you got a locky box. I'm sorry about that. This is my shop. So anyways, I got to work on, I promise I wouldn't say Jeeps on this channel, but I got to work on a Jeep for my other channel. So if you're not, you know what to do. Appreciate it. Have a good day. If you see this blue toolbox in a thumbnail, you won't see this. It'll be pretty cool. It'll just take me a while.